Hey friends, welcome back in. It is time for our monthly Lexploration with Visit Lex and our friend Dr. Jason Swanson, UK tourism professor and our official correspondent.
That's right.
For Lexploration.
That's right. And Dr. Jason got his entire family involved in some agritourism at River Hill Ranch. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it was so much fun to do it, not just as an experience itself, but also to take my family along.
Yeah.
They had a great time.
A lot of smiles, I hear.
Yeah,
This is cool. And I understand there's some bigger messaging, bigger themes going on at this farm than just a little bit of farming.
Right, exactly. And that's one thing I love about doing these Lexplorations. It's always more than just the experience.
Yeah.
If we pay attention to what's really going on there, we can learn about other things too.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Well, let's dive in here. Take a look.
Lexington offers a variety of family fun, ranging from horseback riding to museums. But I'm always looking for something a little bit different. School is starting soon, and I want to squeeze in one more fun family adventure. Do you have any unique suggestions?
Well, right down the road in Richmond, Kentucky, you could go to River Hill Ranch. It's an immersive farm experience. They raise alpacas, they give tours, and you can even have a yoga class while you're down there.
That sounds like something my family would really enjoy. My family and I take a quick trip to Madison County for some fun. I get the feeling this is more than an alpaca farm. Alvina, the owner and operator of River Hill Ranch, shows us around.
I said I grow grass. Why do you think I say that? Why am I a grass farmer?
I would assume it's because alpacas need to eat the grass.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely, yes. And it took me a couple years to realize that if you have animals that eat grass, you should probably know how to grow grass. So thankfully, we came upon regenerative agriculture, which is a collection of practices that take carbon out of the atmosphere and put it down in the soil where it belongs using plants. So by the way that we are growing grass, not only are we keeping all of the animals that eat grass happy and healthy, but we are reducing the carbon footprint of the clothes that we produce on the farm.
And you start that environmental conservation from the beginning.
Yes.
It's not just about shipping or the manufacturing processes, but the actual food that the animals are eating.
Yes, from the very beginning. So everything that we do, we're trying to remain conscious of what our impact. So we try to operate like a total system. We're not just thinking about the alpacas themselves. We're thinking about how does this whole system of agriculture work together, not only on our little patch of heaven, but the impact beyond our farm.
Right.
So without further ado, let's go meet the lawnmowers. Come on this way.
How important is it to have visitors come to the farm? Do they support your business?
Really what's most important to me is that we are one of the few places that's showing the public this is what real farming looks like. This is what challenges farmers and ranchers face, and these are the ways that we're trying to be creative in dealing with it. But people are at least becoming aware and thinking about where their food comes from. We are trying to get people to think about also where their clothing comes from. If we show people this is how we grow clothes in a way that's in harmony with nature, in harmony with the planet, and reducing our impact, then hopefully that will create consumers that are also conscious of all of those things. But if you understand the complexity of it and understand how things are interwoven, it makes it easier.
And that's part of your goal, is to help educate people who come here to understand those complexities. It seems like that's my takeaway on what you're doing here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Having a systems approach is the more natural way. Everything runs into everything else, and everything affects everything else. So the more that we explore, and the more that we are creative and keep open minds, the more that we'll understand how all of that works together, and the more that we'll be able to enjoy it.
So we can have understanding and enjoyment. That's how things work together, but also just having a good time while you're doing it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Visitors to River Hill Ranch get to see how clothes are made with alpaca fiber, and a variety of alpaca fiber products are available for sale. But this place is more than just an alpaca farm. An experience at River Hill Ranch inspires us to think about how we can work through the complexities of life in sustainable ways. That is surprisingly cool.
That is cool.
Love it. And
Your family had a great time.
Yeah, they loved it
did.
there. Just the other day, they were talking about the difference between an alpaca and a llama. They learned that there at the farm.
Oh, that's great. It really is. And I love the fact, I mean, that place really is a little patch of heaven. She
Right.
described it like that. And how did your kids, when they were going home, I can't even imagine what the conversation was.
Oh, yeah, it was great. They loved being around all the animals and,
Yeah.
and learning about differences between those two animals and also seeing the chickens and the ducks and everything going on there. But it's not, there's adult activities there too. It's
Yeah,
not just for kids.
it
There's
is.
yoga, there's day-long retreats for adults.
Wow.
So there's
It's
something
a
for everyone.
beautiful spot,
It
for
really
sure,
is.
yeah.
And I loved how your son was taking care of that butterfly
Yeah, it
on
was
his finger
on
the
his
whole time.
finger for 5 minutes.
That
probably.
was so cute.
Priceless memories there.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got to give a shout out to Visit Lex here too, because you know, with tourism, you always think of your top 20 locations and things, but I mean, their roster of experiences, we're talking in the hundreds now. So when you go there and you pose the question, you know, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, they've got really unique missions that they've been sending you on.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so much here in Lexington to do. And River Hill Ranch is in Richmond, but it's really not that far away.
Yeah, it
For
really
sure.
is.
Yeah.
You've got the best job, don't you?
Oh, I do.
It's a good gig. Jason, thanks. Appreciate you sharing this with us. We're back with more. Stick around.